Gary Morrison is with me right now. He is the board treasurer for United Mutual. Good to have you on, sir.
Thank you
as
very
always.
much. Yeah, enjoy.
Yeah, and today we're going to be talking about finances and looking back a little bit as far as the selling of average selling price of
Right.
the units here, and looking ahead too, because
Yeah.
it won't be long before you have to start thinking
Exactly.
about 2019.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I'll start boring all of you with numbers. And so for December 31st, or as of December 31st, 2017, we had total revenue of $39,287,000, and we were budgeted for $39,301,000. So we were in the hole 14,000, which is very, very low. I mean, that's a good amount.
Yeah.
So our total expenses then were $38,033,000, and we were budgeted for $40,100,000, and therefore we had a positive of $2,067,000. So the excess revenues over expenses are $1,254,000 versus the budget of a minus $799,000. So we had a positive variance of $2,053,000. So that is also good.
Mm-hmm.
Our resales as of December 31st, 2017, this year we had 481 sales. Last year we had 518, so we were down somewhat in sales. However, the sales total for this year is $122,554,000 versus last year at $118,735,000. So our resales were up 3.2%.
Right.
Now I think, and this is just kind of a guesstimate for me, but I think that because we have such a low inventory right now, that's why possibly we're not having a lot of sales.
And that's happening throughout Orange County.
Exactly.
In fact, a recent article in the Register pointed that out, how sales are cooling off. Well, it's not because they're not selling, it's just they're not out there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Our delinquencies for United were up 4 from the previous month. So we had 29 delinquencies at $79,815. So it's a difference in dollars of $7,776 from the previous month, which is also, for the number of people and the amount of money we have coming in, very, very good. I guess now I want to talk about the discussion about income requirements to move into the co-ops. We are increasing the amount from $36,000 to $40,000 of income requirement. And the asset requirements are going to go up. We have not really figured how much we want to place on that, but we want to go greater than $125,000 because it's been quite a number of years since this has been looked at, and everything's gone up, and we just need to address this issue. We also want to put an end to guarantors, and this has been a back and forth.
Explain what that is, please.
A guarantor is someone who wants to, let's say a person does not have the money to live here. So they may go to a friend or a relative and have them sign and guarantee the monies to live here.
Okay.
What we find is happening with that is that those of us that still have living parents, and they probably should be in assisted living or worse. And so what they're doing is buying a place in here and then getting a full-time nursing care on the interior, which then requires all kinds of background checks, and we have to have security, and we have to have gate access, and then we have found that along with a lot of these people, there's theft involved, and it's just a problem. And also then, you know, and this community was founded to be an active senior
Right.
community and not a community of people that are bedridden.
Right.
So, and I guess I'm back and forth on this myself. You know, I feel like I'm being cold-hearted in one vein, but I think we have to look at the welfare of everyone in total
Right.
that are here now. And so this is part of the reason that we are going to change the guarantor policy. Also involved in this are what we call flippers. And they're people that are not of age, and they come in here and they're going to make a quick buck. And so they buy under multiple names. So it's very difficult for our staff to track whether they're flippers or not. And they're causing multiple problems also, and sometimes they go in and remodel a unit and it's not really done to spec, and then when they sell it, then there are problems with the new buyer, which then
Okay.
United has to assume
Yes. Yeah.
the cleanup. So I also want you to know that shareholders that are already here are under a guarantee now would not be affected by this. So anyone
Okay.
that's here now is here. Don't have to worry about it. Even if you leave the community for 90 days, you can come back in under your prior guarantor status.
Okay.
We're also picking up in delinquency for chargeable services, which has been left go. And that's getting, and these are like traffic incidences, garbage incidences, carport incidences, and things that started out at $50 and people have just not paid them are now up over $1,000.
Wow.
And I think the one thing people need to do is not just throw it in the drawer and think it's going to go away. Pay it, and then if you have a problem with it, come forward and bring your complaint forward and
That way, maybe they'll get a
yeah,
refund
and then
or
it's
something.
not
Okay.
going to
Right.
grow to these amounts that are crazy. We are also, any delinquencies now, we're going to be disconnecting the internet and TV. So all I got to say is, you know, clean it up and then come forward and protest or do whatever you need to do.
Okay.
But make sure you pay it.
Okay.
Our co-occupancy policy, you must be 45 years of age or have a spouse who is qualifying resident. A co-occupant cannot be a have a tenant-landlord relationship. Therefore, there should be no rents involved. Co-occupants have the use and enjoyment of facilities provided by GRF and but have no voting rights in GRF or Laguna Woods. The shareholder is responsible for conduct and deportment of the co-occupant. Co-occupant cannot have been convicted of a felony within 20 years or a misdemeanor of moral turpitude within 5 years. They must prove their age. They have to have a criminal background report and a FICO score, as well as proof of income. And the reason for this is if they're a co-occupant and they're signed on as a co-occupant and something happens to the shareholder, then they are going to be responsible for making the monthly payments.
Okay.
So that's why we're involved in this.
Okay.
Now, my last thing is waistline remediation and also our copper plumbing. And I think that we are in a position right now where we need to speed up the spending. We are having a lot of incidences. In fact, United had 1,107 incidences of water intrusion last year.
Wow, that's a lot. Yeah.
What is involved in this
Yeah.
then is they have to go in and people have to move out, you have to have it dried out, then damages have to be repaired. It costs everyone a lot of money. And
that equals, if they were all different manors, 1/6 or so of all the manors, right?
we've had a lot of problems.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
this has been pushed out and pushed out and pushed out.
Yeah.
And we're at a point now where I think we've got to spend the money
Mm-hmm.
and take care of this. And so this is the treasures. We have the three treasures, Third, United, and GRF are all working together, and we're all in agreement on this. So we're going to sit down at budget time and see what we can work out. But
Okay.
we need to speed this up.
Yeah.
So that's all I have to say today.
All right. Yeah, a lot of the issues with this, with the plumbing and all this, has been going on for many, many years.
Many
I know
years.
Third, a few years back, started doing the epoxy lining.
Well, that's what we're
to
we're trying to
great
push.
effect. And I know this is what you folks are looking at right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's the nature of copper plumbing in an area where we have hard water with a lot of minerals in it.
well, and it's not just copper, but it's our waste lines that
Yeah,
are
that's
plastic and they disintegrate
Yes, they
over
do.
50 years.
Yeah.
And you have holes in them with roots, and it just needs to be taken care of.
Yeah. Let us know how that goes and if you're going to increase
Will
that.
do.
We'll
Will
find
do.
out. Good to see you, sir.
Thank you.
Take care. We'll be right back.